Buddy, yes! Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, what makes this car so good? We're going to talk about that today. So, what is it that I love so much about this car and what makes it so good? It's a car with less range than my Tesla. It's got less tech. It is an older design drive system and an older design body. What is it about this car that I like so much? Well, I think I figured it out. So many of you guys have asked why it is that we love this car and why didn't we get another Tesla? Man, this car is great. First off, we already own a Tesla. I've covered a little bit of this in my previous videos about this car. But the fact of the matter is we already own a Tesla. And so buying another one would be a little bit superfluous. Also, we are going to be getting a Roadster, which my guess is with this pandemic and other things going on that the Roadsters will probably be delayed, which is fine from my end. There's a few things in our life that will be sort of coming to an apex right about the end of this year to very early next year. So if it's delayed into the middle of next year or something, that would be fine with me. But we have a Roadster coming, so that's another Tesla. And so we got this car so my wife could daily drive an EV, and I refused to buy a car that wasn't fun. So it's the only electric hot hatch. We like the tiny size. There's all those things. But there is a number of people have said, well, you know, a base Model 3 is only a few $1,000s more than this car. This was $33,900 with this trim package. And I've already argued all of this stuff. I argued that, well, we get the $7,500 tax credit, and it's several thousand cheaper than another Tesla, a base Model 3, and that makes this car about $12,000 cheaper than a base Model 3. So when you figure all that in, this was a bargain. However, there's something about it, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Well, the other day, my son and I, being that he's not out doing stuff and we're relegated to spending the majority of our time at home, we've been watching a lot of Netflix and Hulu and different, watching YouTube and that. We started watching a few shows that were, restoring old cars and modifying cars and that. And we were watching an episode where they were taking an older Camaro and an older Mustang and doing restomods of them. A restomod is a restoration and a modification rolled into one. They take an older car, usually one that's not numbers matching or that maybe is so rotten away you really can't restore it properly, or maybe a car that doesn't really have any significance, and you restore it, but you also maybe put a new chassis and suspension on it, modern drivetrain. That's a restomod. Why do people love restomods? So my son asked, he goes, what's a restomod? And I said, oh, great question. An opportunity to chat with my son about some cool technical stuff. So I explained to him, I said, well, a restomod is what I just stated, restoring an old car but modifying it to be more like a modern car. And he asked, well, why would anyone want to do that? And I said, well, you like the style of the car, you like the character of the car, you like all of the different aspects of it, but you don't like the old suspension and drivetrain or whatever, so you bring it into the modern era. And it struck me, that is the intangible about this car that I've been unable to communicate to you guys. People have said to me, well, don't you know it's a body style from 2006. It's actually a body style from decades earlier than that. And I mean, this exact body style, originated in the 2000s, but the overall Mini styling dates back to the original Mini, and decades ago. And we like that style. We like the round headlights, the kind of bulbous body, and the dash layout. We like this look. So the older body was not a hindrance to us, it was an attraction to us. The drivetrain is out of a BMW i3S, Now, I've had people say, well, that's an older drive. Okay, yeah, it's an older drivetrain compared to a Model 3. The Model 3 drivetrain was designed more recently than the BMW i3 drivetrain, but it's still a relatively modern drivetrain, you know? I mean, let's not fool ourselves here. And so it's a thoroughly modern, high-tech, relatively high-end drivetrain in this more classic, the lines of this car are more classic, but it's still, it's very fresh and modern. I love this thing. The nav is wonderful. The user interface, the screen, everything, the sound system, the handling dynamics. It is a thoroughly modern car with the older look. So this is a restomod. This is what I would consider. And this is what has drawn us into this car. And I actually had this conversation with my wife yesterday while running errands, and I had the idea for this video. And I said, you know that show about restomodding? She said, yeah, it's pretty cool. She normally doesn't like car videos, but she's like, yeah. I said, well, that's what this is. And she kind of looked at me. I said, think about it. This is a factory-built hot hatch restomod EV. She said, oh, and you know, it has everything that we love in cars. We love some of the older style bodywork on some of the older cars, but we love more high-end modern drivetrains. We love quirky looks of, again, something styled in the past. We love tiny cars, but again, we love thoroughly modern drivetrain. We love modern handling dynamics. Woo, buddy! Yes! Holy cow. This car is awesome. This car is awesome. Woo! Yeah! So we like a car that is, again, thoroughly modern in its drivetrain and the interior and all of the tech, while still hearkening back to a time when cars had, I don't want to say more character, because new cars have some character, but had more of a personality, the character and personality that we like. Maybe some of it's our age. I'm 48 years old, and my wife is almost 50. So here we go. Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! My gosh, I love this car. But what is it about this car? That's exactly it. This thing handles absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I don't want to say off the charts, but for its price range and really what it is, it handles wonderfully. And it's relatively efficient. I have been flogging this poor car to death. I've got the heat on, I have the heated seats on, and I'm flooring it everywhere. And I'm at 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So for how hard I'm driving this car, it's returning relatively decent efficiency. So anyway, that's just something that I wanted to explain to you guys. What is it about this car that we love? It's everything, but again, I go back to, it's a factory designed and built with warranty. Restomod hot hatch EV. That's what this car is. And you know, I've had a few people say to me that they don't like cars that are, you know, sort of the retro cars, the modern Mustang and Camaro and some of the Dodge cars that are trying to reach back to their roots. I love that. What's there not to like about this? I mean, seriously. Now, you can go back to, let's say, the PT Cruiser. That was a car that was retro in a bad way. But I kind of like the retro thing, and that's really what this car is. So anyway, you guys asked, so this video is an answer to that question. Why would anyone buy this car? What is it about it? That's exactly what it is. When you resto-mod an old Camaro or a Mustang or something like that, you're not worried about the gas mileage, hence we're not worried about the range. We wouldn't have bought this car if it had 50 miles of range, I'll tell you that. But the 110 miles of rated range is beyond what this car is actually delivering anyway. So it is you know, the range is quite good. I'd say 125 miles if you just don't care and you're driving it in a sporting way. 140 miles if you're trying for good range. So, but you don't buy a car like this for the range, but the range is still fine for us. But why would anyone buy it? It's what I've just been talking about. So it's the same reason someone would resto-mod a car, and this is a lot cheaper than resto-modding an old car, let me tell you that. It's also cheaper than taking a car and converting it to electric and making it this good. So if I were to build an electric car, it would be this. If I were to take a car, although it would be this as a convertible, if anything, I would take a mini Roadster, which is a 2-seat convertible, and convert it to electric. And I'll tell you what, the minute that they offer that body style, a 2-seat mini Roadster convertible in electric, that minute I'll order one, hands down, for sure. But aside from that, it's got a sunroof that opens. It's close to what we really like. It's got the rigid body structure of a full body, so there's that. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. I still love the Model 3. The Model 3 is a better car than this. It's a better car. So I just want to say that. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. And as always, stay charged. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye now.